Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video starts on a sweet note because I'm making a pudding, and this one came together purely from a thought, not from planning. As I was getting things ready, I suddenly remembered a pudding I had made a few vlogs ago. The one with orange cake, double chocolate milkshake and cornflakes on top. I hope you remember that. If you remember, let me know in the comments because that pudding has a special place in our home memories. When my elder son Rihan had that pudding, he looked at me and said, "Mom, strawberry and chocolate is also a perfect combination," and that thought stayed with me. Sometimes the best recipes don't come from cookbooks, they come from simple family conversations. So today I'm finally turning that idea into a dessert. I started by chopping strawberries into tiny cubes and sliced a few as well. At this moment, I didn't even know what I would use where, but that's okay. This pudding wasn't planned step by step. I just picked ingredients based on the strawberry and chocolate combination that was sitting in my mind. Last time I used a Tetra pack of thick cream. This time I'm using fresh cream, about 100 grams each, 3 cups in total. To make it richer and creamier, I added 3 to 4 tablespoons of cream cheese spread, and for sweetness, some condensed milk. I mixed everything well and kept it aside. I wanted a chocolate cake base, but I couldn't find one at the store. Instead, I found this marble cake, and honestly, that worked just fine. Cooking for family doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes you just work with what's available and it still turns out beautiful. I place the cake slices in the pudding tray to form the base. To soak the cake, I poured strawberry milk on top. Now, if you want, you can do the opposite. Use strawberry cake and pour chocolate milk instead. I think that would work just as well. For the biscuits, I have used Mary biscuits. Last time I had used Parle-G, and truly, it doesn't matter. Use whatever is lying in your pantry. Home cooking is about comfort, not rules. I poured half of the cream mixture over the cake and added some chopped strawberries. For the next layer, I dipped the biscuits in hot coffee. I used instant coffee and made it a little strong so that the coffee flavor gently comes through in the pudding. If you prefer to avoid coffee, you can simply dip the biscuits in hot milk. I layered the biscuits twice, then poured the remaining cream mix on top. For a little crunch, last time I had used cornflakes, but this time I'm using chocolate flavored Rice Crisps or Cocoa Pops. A few strawberry slices for garnish, some of the crisps on top, and that's it. The final step is patience. This goes straight into the refrigerator until it's nicely chilled. After the pudding was done and resting in the fridge, I moved on to the dinner preparation. It had been a really long time since I made aloo paratha or anything stuffed inside a paratha or chapati. And truly, we all love stuffed parathas at home. They are comforting, filling and always feel like a small treat on the dinner table. While checking the fridge, I noticed the milk was about to expire. Whenever that happens, I usually make paneer burji. But this time I thought, why not turn into paneer paratha? And of course, to keep the kids extra happy, I decided to add a little cheese as well. Sometimes small additions make a big difference, especially when cooking for family. I used about 4 cups of milk, added vinegar and a pinch of salt, and once the milk came to a boil, it started curdling beautifully. Strain it through a muslin cloth or a simple strainer and collect the paneer. I left it aside for some time so all the excess water could drain out properly. Good things always need a little patience, even in cooking. And while all this was happening, something else arrived at home. 2 fitted sheets that I had ordered from Trendyol were delivered. These are for our 3rd bedroom and I really loved how they look. I'll link them in the description box in case any of you are interested. I had actually planned to serve the pudding after dinner because that's usually how it's done, but the kids had other plans. They kept coming back to the kitchen asking again and again, is the pudding ready? And to keep their hearts happy and to give my ears a little rest, I finally served it. And I'm glad I did. The pudding was so refreshing, light, creamy and perfectly chilled. The strawberries added that fresh, slightly tangy bite, and the chocolate brought in the richness. Strawberry and chocolate really are a beautiful combination. They balance each other so well. Not too sweet, not too heavy, just comforting in the best way. Watching them enjoy it, seeing those happy faces at the table, that's when you feel that all the little efforts in the kitchen are worth it. These small moments, they are what turns simple food into memories. Back to dinner preparation, I started by making the chapati or paratha dough. I always love using my stand mixer for kneading. It makes the dough so soft and smooth, and especially for stuffed parathas, a well-kneaded dough makes all the difference. I added whole wheat flour into the bowl, a little salt and some oil. Then little by little I poured in warm water and let the mixer do its magic. In just a few minutes, the dough came together beautifully. I took it out, spread a little oil on a plate and kneaded it manually for a few more times, just to give that final softness. Then I let the dough rest because good parathas, like good meals, need a little more time before they are ready. While the dough was resting, I moved on to preparing the stuffing. By now the paneer had drained well. The crumbles are ready. To add flavor, I first crushed a few basic ingredients. Nothing fancy, just simple aromatics that bring everything together. I heated some fat in a pan. You can use ghee, butter, oil, whatever you prefer or have at hand. I sauteed the crushed ingredients for a few moments until they turned fragrant. Then I added a little turmeric powder, some cumin powder and a pinch of garam masala. Once everything was mixed well, I added this flavorful mixture to the paneer crumbles. To make the stuffing extra comforting and to keep the kids happy, I add some mozzarella cheese. Just enough to make it cheesy, not overpowering. A little salt and some chili flakes for a gentle kick of spiciness. Everything was mixed well, and just like that, the stuffing was ready. Simple ingredients, simple steps, and a filling made with love. Ready to be wrapped inside soft parathas. Now it was time to start making the parathas. I divided the rested dough into equal sized balls ready for stuffing. There are so many different types of parathas you can make. Paneer, aloo, dal, even chicken. I have made many of them in the past, but lately not so much. So making these again after a long time felt really nice and familiar. I personally love making thick parathas. One is usually enough. Soft and a little crispy on the outside and nicely filled on the inside. Comfort food at its best. You can really see the difference a well-kneaded dough makes. With the dough like this, you hardly need a rolling pin or a press. Your hands are more than enough. I added a spoonful of the paneer stuffing. Close the dough gently and flatten it again. One small tip I always follow: gently press around the rim of the stuffed dough. This helps lock the filling inside so it doesn't come out while rolling or cooking. I decided to stuff all the parathas first and keep them ready. I had to serve Leon his food in between, so I thought I'll flatten and cook them later, once everything was settled. That's just how cooking at home goes, pausing in between, multitasking and adjusting as the day unfolds. And somehow it all comes together in the end. Now back into the kitchen after a long pause. I started rolling each paratha gently, dusting a little flour as I went, taking my time. One by one, they went into the hot pan. A little ghee or butter, just enough to make them extra flavorful. There's something so satisfying about watching a paratha puff up. That moment when it rises, that's when you know it has turned out just right. But even if it doesn't puff up, it's okay. The taste will still be there. I think that applies to life too. Perfection doesn't come instantly. It takes time. It takes practice, and most of all, it takes patience, especially for mothers. There's no such thing as a perfect mother. We are all learning as we go, doing our best with what we know in that moment. Some days the parathas puff up beautifully and some days they don't, but the love remains the same, and maybe that's enough. So if you're watching this and feeling like you need to be perfect in the kitchen, at home or in life, please remember, being human is more than enough. These parathas, made with pauses, interruptions and a lot of heart, were finally getting ready to be served. Earlier, I used to love having everyone sit around the table and eat dinner together every single day. That was always my idea of a perfect family moment. But now it mostly happens only on weekends. Life has changed, schedules have changed, and I've slowly learned to accept that. Sometimes being flexible is not a weakness, it's necessary for our own mental peace. And yes, there are moments that feel frustrating, times when we think, like, maybe I could have done this better. And that's okay, we are allowed to feel that way. We are allowed to reflect, to learn, and then to let go. Maybe the real lesson is to unlearn the idea that everything has to be perfect. Some days are messy, some meals are rushed, some moments don't go as planned. But even then, there is warmth, effort, and love. That's more than enough. And with that, I'm going to end today's vlog here. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, from sweet puddings to warm parathas and all the pauses and reflections in between. If this video felt relatable or comforting in any way, I'm truly happy, because these vlogs are not about perfection, they're about real life, real homes, real moments. Thank you for being here, for watching and for supporting my journey. Take care everyone. I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye-bye.